there is fullness and connection.
There is a growing comfort.
Tenderness and vulnerability.
The truth of who I am. So we've just been through this incredible experience together, and I found the courage to express my frustration. And in that is a freedom to feel joy and love and connection.
I must say it was so wonderful from my perspective to really feel the energy of the expression, and even just the word courage.
And it's like the courage, to be in our hearts, the willingness to go to that place, and the love that it creates is so beautiful. Wow. What an opportunity to express how much we care. I will always remember this experience because I've just learned more about myself. Passion for
Emanating presence for love.
And this process has allowed me to find aspects of myself that I wasn't aware that were there. Yeah, so thank you very much. The courage to feel our feelings. This is the crux of it all.
Hello and welcome to Just This, Courage of Being with Esmond Baring. I'm Bobby, Just This creator and host. In our hyper-connected world, I see increasing separation. I believe that connecting and learning with each other is profoundly inspirational and healing. Just This creates and captures the magic of group connection. I guide our guests through social meditation frameworks where we improvise expressions of collective emotion and wisdom. Esmond Baring is my guest on this first episode. Esmond is a great man, a loving father, and a men's emotional coach. He guides men to open up and understand the fullness of their emotional experience. In this full uncut video, you will see the entire creative process that Esmond and myself went through as we improvised the 3-verse poem entitled Courage of Being. Like, subscribe and follow our socials for complete poetry, meditations, creative process videos and NFT drops. Just This illustrates the way that I work creatively with autotelic arts. So if you would like my help finding unique inspiration and creativity in your projects, get in touch. It's my pleasure to introduce Just This, Courage of Being with Esmond Baring. In this next practice, it's similar to the there is noting, except we're taking on the awareness of courage of being, which we're already inhabiting strongly. And for each note, we take it in turns to say, as courage of being, and then you say 1 or 2 words that describe the experience that you have there. So it's best to keep this to 1, 2, or 3 words, because these are our seeds that I mentioned earlier. And later on, we'll come back to these and add a much bigger elaboration to them. So as courage of being, feel what's there and just express. And it can be anything: physical, emotional, postural, thoughts, rememberings, just whatever is there. And we'll do 4 minutes. We'll do 3 minutes, and then we'll choose from these. So just let whatever is there come through. So in fact, I'll set the timer for 4 minutes, but we'll do 1 minute that repeats the practice that we just did, just saying courage of being to reignite that feeling. And then the last 3 minutes will be us expressing as courage of being. Are you ready? Cool. Okay. So here we go. Expressing courage of being. May courage of being arise.
May courage of being arise.
May courage of being arise,
courage of being,
courage of being,
courage of being,
courage of being.
courage of being.
May courage of being arise.
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 Courage of being.
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 As courage of being, energy coursing,
as courage of being, feeling shame,
as courage of being, awareness of tenderness,
as courage of being, forgiving myself,
as courage of being, saying sorry,
as courage of being, meeting life,
as courage of being, deeply breathing,
as courage of being, facing myself,
as courage of being, awareness of tension,
as courage of being with sadness,
as courage of being, I'm not sure,
as courage of being with fear,
as courage of being, embracing uncertainty,
as courage of being with life,
as courage of being, lips wavering,
as courage of being in love,
as courage of being, expanding shamelessly,
as courage of being with grief,
as courage of being, listening,
as courage of being alive,
as courage of being, I'm not sure,
as courage of being who I am,
as courage of being, allowing sensitivity,
as courage of being self-love,
as courage of being, remembering fullness,
as courage of being with mistakes,
as courage of being, allowing bliss,
as courage of being with failure,
thank you. Okay, so we've created quite a few there now. I need to gather them once more. So yeah, the idea is, this is the first time I'm doing it this way. Before we just went with whatever ones came out, but I think by doing more and then going back and choosing the ones we feel are the best, it kind of gives us a chance to express more at first, and then now we can kind of refine it. So yeah, really just choose 5 of these. Can you see them okay? Shameless expansion and allowing bliss.
Yep.
So I guess our back-to-back kind of, it will be allowing sensitivity with shame.
Exactly.
Then to remembering fullness with grief.
Yes.
Then energy coursing with anger. Then expanding shamelessly who I am, allowing bliss and alive. That's come together quite nicely, hasn't it? Cool. All right. Yeah. And so this will, really the invitation is take 1 or 2 breaths to just flow. And so feel free to, just express. And this is really, we will do a longer free flow afterwards as well. But for now, just, And actually, that's another thing we need to do. And when you're finished, because it's not always clear, there may be more. So like take as long as you need for each one, take breaks, think. Yeah. And when you finish, just click your fingers so that it's a prompt for the other person to go.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sound good?
Great.
All right.
Beautiful.
So, but before we do start, we'll just have the 1 minute of
arriving
as courage of being.
Okay.
Courage of being.
Courage of being.
Courage of being.
As courage of being.
As courage of being.
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 As 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 courage of being in allowing sensitivity, tapping into the nuances, the delicate sensations, the delicate energies, observing with compassion, wanting to support.
As courage of being with shame and the darkness and the contraction and the smallness and the horror and the hatred and the defectiveness and the failure and the worthlessness and the devilish aspects of self and the misery and the fear and the dejection and the self-hatred.
As courage of being in remembering fullness, the foggy wisps peering through dirty lenses, shattered but knowing, crumbled and fragmented, but there's an inkling, there is this tingling remembrance, this guiding force, this pulling delight, painfully stripping through that which causes pain towards the wholeness.
As being with grief and finding the beauty in the pain and the expression of a torrential flood of feeling, the relief, the reprieve, the refreshment, the peace, the stillness, the calm, the awashness with life, and the release of the pain.
As fullness of being in energy coursing, deeply breathing, infusing, pumping muscles, heart beating, veins flowing, sinews stretching, rising, remembering, embracing, supporting, vibrating, emanating delicious power, healing, and oneness.
As courage of being with anger, protecting myself, fiercely loving. A warrior's power standing for his creed and his cause. Loving myself fiercely, ferociously, stepping up into the force and fullness of who I am. The ferocity and courage of anger, my power, my purpose, my drive, my life.
As fullness of being in expanding shamelessly, casting aside the doubts, casting aside the limits, casting aside the inward anger, stepping through past, showing myself, showing, effortlessly growing, allowing the pull towards glorious fulfillment, glorious self-knowledge, and the fullness of expression, the fullness of being seen, and holding the gaze and knowing the connection, knowing the resonance and the influence.
As courage of being who I am, and the fullest aspect of my beingness, in tender caress, in furious insistence, in reckless and joyful abandon, in the depths and the tears of both grief and love, joyful, spontaneous, free, alive, passionate, enduring all aspects of what this life is in the fullness of the expression of who I am, is love itself.
In fullness of being, allowing bliss, the fullness of this, simply appreciating and stepping into the central, effortless space of stillness, being that bliss, breathing it in, relaxing into the tingles, the goosebumps, and the flecks of the wind, to just simply rest and be allowed in this being in bliss.
The fullness of being alive in all its messiness, craziness, peak and trough, fear and love, the courage to try, the courage to learn, the willingness to feel the depth of my pain and the depth of my love, the fullest and truest embrace of who I am and what life is, without judgment, with full acceptance, with an enjoyment, with a care, with a tenderness, with a ferocity, with an embrace, and with thanks for the beauty of this human experience and being on this plane. In the fullness of being alive, I set myself free. to be who I am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I feel like this burning frustration, this this life force,
Really?
life force.
Yes.
Life force.
Well, let's go into that. Would you like to do your free flow expression now?
Life force.
Yes. Oh, let's go into that.